Alright boys, so with this past week's weekly reset, we got our third and final Nightfall weapon for Season of the Chosen, the Swarm. The Swarm, just like the Palindrome and the Shadow Price, is a returning weapon from Destiny 1. Now, the other two Nightfall weapons that I just mentioned are primary weapons, so the Swarm, being a power weapon in comparison, can make it seem a little bit less interesting, but you should 100% grind or farm for a God Roll because in my opinion, this is one of the best machine guns in the game. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how to farm for this beast of a weapon, even if you're a solo player, and the God Roll for both PvE and PvP. Now, before we get started, I wanted to quickly mention the sponsor of today's video. You know what I'm about to say. Oh, Raid Shadow Legends! Raid came at me a few weeks back with a challenge. They said, yo, myfi, if you can get 100 people to download Raid and play through the tutorial, we'll toss you a fat bag. Now, even though they are paying me cold, hard dolans, I still really enjoy the game. Raid is a beautiful turn-based action RPG game that, and this is the biggest reason why I like it, always has something to do. Seriously, they pump out updates like it's nobody's business. So if you've ever wanted to support the channel, then click the link in the description, download Raid, and play through the tutorial. We're currently at the halfway mark to reaching the 100 download goal or challenge that they gave me, so if you would like to help a brother out, then I'd highly appreciate it. Once again, thank you all so much for not hating me whenever I do sponsorships, as they really help out the channel. And let's get into it. So the Swarm, of course, like I mentioned, is a Nightfall weapon. So surprise, surprise, it's acquired via Nightfall strikes. Now, the difficulty of the Nightfall strikes that you do does indeed affect the drop rate of these Nightfall weapons. The Nightfall on the Adept or 1230 difficulty is going to offer the lowest drop rate of rare. The Nightfall on the Hero or 1270 difficulty is going to offer a drop rate of uncommon. And finally, the Nightfall on Legend or 1300 and Master or 1330 difficulty is going to offer a drop rate of common. Now, in my Palindrome video, I said that from my testing, I didn't notice a difference in the drop rate from Legend to Master, which would make sense because the game literally states those two difficulties have the same drop rate. But after further research on my own and comments from you guys, it does seem that the 1330 does have the highest drop rate of about 1 drop out of every 2 to 3 runs compared to the 1300 being 1 drop out of every 5 to 6 runs. I don't know, maybe I was just having a god tier RNG day the day that I tested the drop rates. Now, of course, let's not forget about the Grandmaster Nightfall, which at the time of this recording are not yet available, but those will more than likely have the best or highest drop rates and will also offer the Adept versions of these Nightfall weapons. So, for solo players looking to farm the Swarm or just any Nightfall weapon in general, then your best option is going to be the Hero or 1270 difficulty, as it offers the highest drop rate with matchmaking enabled. Now, if you're not a solo player and you have some friends, then the Master or 1330 is going to be your best option, as it has the highest drop rate in general, excluding the Grandmaster, which won't be available till March 16th. Now, if you are a solo player and you don't feel like running the 1270 10 plus times just to get one of these weapons to drop for you, then this is where I'm going to invite you to join my community Discord, where we have over 5,000 members that all play Destiny 2 on every different platform. Seriously, if you want people to play with, join the Discord. And the final thing is that these 3 Nightfall weapons are on a weekly rotation. So if you don't get the Swarm before this Tuesday, then it will be back in 2 more weeks. Okay, so now that you know how to go about getting your hands on the Swarm, let's talk about the weapon itself and the God Roll. The Swarm is a 360 RPM arc machine gun. The in-game stats and hidden stats are on screen. Now for the God Roll. For column 1, and I'm gonna keep it a $150 with you all. This column, just like on every other weapon, doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things, but that still won't stop me from giving you my recommendations. Column 1 has 9 barrel options. The barrels I would recommend are going to be fluted barrel, but not for the increased usability because this weapon already has pretty good stability, but instead for the massive increase to handling. I mean, who doesn't love whipping it out crazy fast? You know? Plus, handling on a machine gun is always really nice. Next is going to be hammer forged rifling, just for a flat increase to range. And finally, small bore if you want range, and if let's say you are having a little bit of a problem with the recoil, it is going to give you some stability. Now for column 2, where you're going to want a magazine perk because more bullets equals a better weapon. But it can't just be any magazine perk. I mean, well, technically it kind of can once we factor in the column 3 perk, but we'll get to that in just a second. Column 2 has 7 perks, and of those 7 perks, you have 3 magazine perks. Appended mag for a magazine bump from 47 to 56 with no negatives, tactical mag for a magazine bump from 47 to 51, but also increases stability along with reload speed, and finally extended mag for a magazine bump from 47 to 61, but heavily decreases your reload speed. Seriously, you're going to be reloading like a snail with this mag perk. The overall best perk here is going to be appended mag for a 9 bullet increase, but no reload drawback like extended mag has, and it also has more bullets compared to tactical mag, plus the whole more stability doesn't really matter like we've discussed, and the reload speed can be bumped via our column 3 perk, so tactical mag is kind of you know. Now, I will come back to this column in just a second to touch on extended mag once we discuss column 3. Speaking of column 3, let's take a look at it. For column 3, you're going to find 5 perks: Surplus, Outlaw, Bottomless Grief, Killing Wind, and Dynamic Sway Reduction. Let's go ahead and discard the bad perks, so goodbye Bottomless Grief and Dynamic Sway Reduction. Bottomless Grief, well, you all probably don't need an explanation as to why that's just a god-awful perk, but you might be scratching your heads as to why I'm saying no to Dynamic Sway. And that just goes back to the whole, this weapon doesn't really need stability, plus the other perks in this column are just far better. This leaves us with 3 perks: Surplus, Outlaw, and Killing Wind. I'm going to go ahead and say up front, Killing Wind is going to be the best if you're looking for a PvP role, as you're probably never going to have enough ammo to actually reload this thing, so Outlaw is useless, and then Surplus for PvP, where it feels like I get killed more by abilities than actual weapons. Well, I think you get where I'm coming from, and by that I mean you're going to be using your abilities left and right, so Surplus is never actually going to be active. Now for PvE, on the other hand, well, both Outlaw and Surplus are top tier perks for this weapon, but I'm gonna have to give it to Outlaw simply because of the best column 4 perk for PvE. But if you get Surplus, or if you prefer Surplus, because I know some people love Surplus, even after what I say about column 4, then yeah, go for it. It's a fantastic perk, especially if you're running a build where you're just constantly overflowing with abilities. Now, quickly going back to column 2, where I'm going to say that if you're going for Outlaw here in column 3, and you're positive that you'll always remember to reload when you have Outlaw active, then extended mag is going to be the best, because Outlaw is going to cancel out the reload penalty it causes. I still think appended is the best all-around perk, but if you can always time your reload around Outlaw, then go for it, because it is going to offer the highest magazine bump. Now for column 4, where we have 6 perks. One for all, Dragonfly, Vorpal Weapon, Zen Moment, Tap the Trigger, and Slideways. Now let's go ahead and dismiss the perks you don't want. So goodbye Slideways, Tap the Trigger, and Zen Moment. These 3 perks might be good in their own regard, but they don't pair well with our column 3 perks, and are just outclassed by the other perks in column 4. This leaves us with One for All for a 35% damage increase that lasts a full 10 seconds after hitting 3 separate enemies in quick succession, Dragonfly, which is going to make enemies go kaboom after a precision kill, and Vorpal for increased damage to yellow health bar adds, vehicles, and guardians in their super. Now, once again, I'm going to be upfront and say that Vorpal is going to be the best perk if you're looking for a PvP role, because One for All is just terrible in PvP, and Dragonfly, yeah, it might get you an extra kill here and there, but just like One for All, it's not really a PvP perk. Vorpal paired with this slow firing machine gun is going to make tearing through people in their supers a breeze. Plus, by the time you actually get heavy within a game, that's also around the time that people will begin getting their supers, so it just lines up perfectly. There's just something about a super charging at you from a distance and you lay them out via a weapon with Vorpal that just feels so good. I don't know if that's just me, but I've used Vorpal before on a machine gun and have just torn through supers, and it feels so good when it happens. Now back to the best PvE perk, where I'm gonna give it to Dragonfly. And I know a lot of you just had a mini heart attack thinking, what do you mean, myfi? I thought you made sweet love to One for All every night. And yes, that's true. And it's also true that One for All is the best PvE damage perk in the game for an ad clearing weapon, but this weapon doesn't have something like Reconstruction or Overflow giving you bullets to spare to activate One for All with ease, so I gotta give it to Dragonfly, because you just can't beat that classic Outlaw Dragonfly combo for PvE. Both perks synergize so well with this weapon, because of the fact that it can one-tap pretty much any red health bar ad in the game to the dome, giving you the ability to have Outlaw and Dragonfly active 24/7. It's seriously just unlimited Dragonfly explosions, and it's great. Also, don't forget to throw on Dragonfly spec, because oh baby, it makes this thing that much more disgusting when it comes to ad clear. Now, of course, if you prefer the whole spray and pray style and you want something that is going to up your damage, then yeah, go for One for All and pair it with Surplus in column 3. But in my opinion, you can't beat Outlaw Dragonfly on a weapon like this. So the God Roll is, for PvE, either Fluted, Hammer Forged, or Small Bore in column 1, Appended Mag or Extended Mag if you're feeling ballsy in column 2, Outlaw in column 3, and Dragonfly in column 4. Then for PvP, where column 1, well, see column 1 for the PvE God Roll, column 2, Accurized Rounds, which I know I didn't mention, but I'm mentioning now, column 3, Killing Wind, and column 4, Vorpal Weapon. Now, if you're going for a PvP roll and you just can't, for some reason, control this weapon's recoil, or you just want a very consistent weapon, then go for Dynamic Sway in column 3 and tap the trigger in column 4. That's literally going to turn this weapon into a laser beam. And there we go. That is how to get the Swarm, how to farm for the Swarm, and the God Rolls for both PvE and PvP. Now, before you head out, let me know in the comment section if you have the God Roll for either PvE or PvP. I have been farming this thing like crazy, hence why I didn't upload this video earlier in the week, trying to get a God Roll or even a good roll, and I just can't seem to get anything. So if you have the God Roll, then I'm extremely jealous because I honestly believe this is one of the best machine guns in the game currently. With all that being said, if you would like to watch me farm for these God Rolls and more than likely not get them live, then follow my Twitch channel on screen now and in the description. If you are new around here and you enjoy my videos, then feel free to subscribe, but only if you enjoy the videos. 100K is right around the corner, boys. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos about God Rolls and stuff like that, then drop a like and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.